Welcome in to the Bravado Wireless Game of the Week. Dion Amade, former Oklahoma State safety, Seth Campbell joining you. And we are live in Vian, Oklahoma at St. John Stadium for what is going to be a classic game here in Class 2A between the Vian Wolverines and the MILLWOOD Falcons.
Yeah, it's going to be very exciting. A bunch of athletes on this field. I'm looking forward to seeing some great contests and some great football between both of these teams.
And these two teams are very familiar with each other. This is going to be the third year that they're playing each other in the playoffs. The 2 years ago, MILLWOOD actually came here to Vian, won 44-0. Really wasn't a close game. And then last year was a classic in the playoffs, a 27-26 victory for Vian at MILLWOOD. So these two teams, know each other. They're very familiar. And then if you're MILLWOOD, you're looking for a little bit of revenge against Vian.
Yeah, very much so. And it's going to be interesting because you're kind of facing two opposite sides of style of football between both these teams. Vian is more that ground and pound, attack you, in your face, brutal defense. And on offense, they run the football, and it's a power game right up the middle, take it or leave it. On the other side for MILLWOOD, it's more of a spread attack, okay? You're going to see the ball in the air a lot more, and you're going to see a lot of athletes moving fast throughout the way. So it's very –
Merry Christmas.
Oh, look at this. It's our guy, Chris. It looks like he has gifts for us.
Awesome.
Look at that. Oh, are we allowed to, do we have to wait, or can we open these now?
Go ahead. It's our last game, and we wanted to thank you guys.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you didn't wrap it. I mean, it looks good wrapped well. It was very wrapped well. But oh, now look at these.
All right.
Okay, AirPods from our guys. Bravado Wireless got us AirPods.
A Bravado Wireless special right here.
There we go.
Appreciate it
Thank you
very
so
much.
much, Chris.
And thank you for the season, and we enjoyed it.
We enjoyed doing it with you
we
guys.
got one more game. Let's make it a good one for sure.
You see these guys right here? This is what you need to gift your loved ones.
Yes.
AirPod 2, AirPod Pros, baby.
Look at that. They are AirPod Pros.
See, they didn't cheap out on these gifts now.
No, for sure they didn't, man. That is something special, and you can get those at Bravado Wireless.
And I'm sure if you want to be styling like me and Seth, I mean, hook up the guys at Bravado Wireless. They will hook you up.
Oh, for sure. All over Eastern Oklahoma. We have said it all throughout the year, but we really do mean it. Our guys at Bravado Wireless, they will hook you up, and they will find you deals, and they are your local Oklahoma wireless carrier.
I mean, I love them. That means you should love them too.
If Dion loves it, then you should love anything that Dion is.
I mean, my love is for sale, obviously.
Anyway, all right, so we're going back, and it's going to be a great game here today at St. John Stadium, and let's go back to...
I just can't put them down. I love them so much.
I can't stop it. No, that is priceless. All right, let's go back to these two teams having played each other. And when you're this familiar with the team, you're not in the same conference, but you played each other the past 3 years in high intense games where it's win or go home. What does that bring for the third installation of this rivalry?
Well, first of all, it's kind of like almost a district game where you see a team year in and year out, and you know that your best is going to have to meet their best. I'm sure these teams aren't in close proximity at all. I mean, MILLWOOD is being from the city, Vian being from, our local area.
Right.
It's going to be a matchup where you're looking in the papers, you're looking up on internet, you're checking social media. How is this team looking? How are they doing? Because the matchup that you face every year, it's coming. It's right around the corner, and it's here. So all the off-season preparation, you don't just look at your district. You don't know. You have to compete with them. You have to be comparable to them, but you got to beat that team across the state as well.
Exactly. And these two teams, you mentioned earlier, the offense is kind of two different styles of offense, but both of these teams have been getting it done on the defensive side. If you just throw out a few stats for you here, Vian's starters, their defensive starters, have allowed 25 points this entire year. 25 points. And then they said 7 of those points came from a blocked punt that put them inside the 10-yard line.
So this is a defense that's used to being a defensive team. They've shut out opponents. They've, like you said, 25 points this year. I mean, a touchdown will give you 6.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm telling you right now that they haven't given up more than 4 touchdowns all year. It's very impressive. But on the other side, this Millwood team.
Man, they did it done on defense as well.
Yeah.
And 9 wins this year. When they are winning, they are playing quality defense. And their 9 wins, averaging only giving up 9.5 points a game.
And it's very interesting because I got an opportunity to check out Millwood earlier in this year. Actually, their first game of the season versus Heritage Hall. Now, Heritage Hall is a very tough opponent, but they didn't fare well against them. They had a couple of injuries, and, it was early in the season, hot September weather where, players were cramping up. So it's going to be interesting to see how far they've come through the season. But the one thing that I didn't shy away from as far as my observations go, they have some athletes and they have some incredible players on their side. Looking forward to see those guys get after it tonight.
You mentioned some weather there. Well, it is going to be the complete opposite of the last time you saw this Millwoods Falcons team, Dion. It is 41 degrees. It's a little chilly outside, and just to add to the chill factor, there's some nice precipitation just spitting at you in your face, along with just a sloppy field out there.
Yeah, you talked about the sloppy field right there. That's what I wanted to hit on. We had an opportunity to go down to the field and check out the conditions, talk with some of the head coaches.
And Dion's shoes will never be the same.
And I'm telling you right now, it is not okay if you're wearing J's. I'm just saying this right now. If you got some fresh Nikes, you do not want to be on the Vian field. But these guys are in cleats. It looks like some boot apparel was necessary for some of the fans and spectators. But that's going to play a very, very big, role in this game. Running the football north and south is going to be the way you want to go. So it's going to be interesting to see how Millwood fares in this weather with their spread attack. But the field conditions, the weather, it kind of seems like it's a Vian type of night.
They are definitely favoring Vian, the field conditions are, and Vian is at home here at St. John's Stadium, and we are at home giving you this broadcast. We are so excited to bring you one more broadcast here on the Bravado Wireless Game of the Week. As you see there, it's Dion Amade, former Oklahoma State safety. I'm Seth Campbell, and all right, Dion, before we wrap this up and head into some commercials before the pregame, give me some keys for both of these teams need to execute if they want to continue their season.
Well, first of all, it's playoff time. So all that, big-time performance from individual players, it's far and few between. You hear me? So it's going to be teamwork that gets this win here tonight. We talked to the coach, Franklin, from Millwood.
A man of many words.
Many words. He didn't have much to say. But one of the things he did state was we need a team effort to get a win here tonight. He was very focused on it. So I'm going to think teamwork is going to be very important. Running the football is going to be another thing. We mentioned the conditions of the field and what it's going to take. Running the football is going to be a huge role in this game. And then defensively, attacking the quarterback and getting pressure, I think it's going to be the difference in the game defensively for both these teams.
Well, we're going to have some athletes out there on the field, so make sure you stay with us here on the Bravado Wireless Game of the Week. As I said, we're in Vian for the Vian Wolverines and the Millwood Falcons playing each other here in playoff football. It's win or go home time here in Oklahoma.
Hi, we're Bravado Wireless. You may have seen us at your local events and wondered just exactly what we do. We provide the highest quality cell phone service, specializing in outstanding coverage, both locally and nationwide. We're headquartered right here in Oklahoma, with multiple store locations in eastern Oklahoma. We provide the most affordable, unlimited talk, text, and data plans available. For a limited time, our unlimited plan is only $40 a month, and you can receive a free LG K30. Make sure you stop in now and enjoy our other amazing summer deals before they end. Visit Bravado Wireless store locations for all other details, or go to bravadowireless.com for more information. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
I mean, most of their games are.
Looks like we're about to begin the toss. Looks like we've got the winners on the field for the Wolverines. Number 2 is Michael Black. Number 3 is Tanner Griffin. Number 23 is Brett Black. Number 52 is Will Ryan. Number 3, Brett McElhaney. And number 82 is Jordan Murchison. For the Millwood Falcons, number 1 is Harold Baxter. Number 4 is Robert Mays. Number 7 is Desmond Green. Number 80 is Asher Earl. Number 28 is Ricky Hunt Jr. Wolverines won the toss and led the first in the second half. Millwood will have the ball first half. Ladies and gentlemen, if you please stand, the band will do the national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to get acquainted with the referees. They've come from the Tulsa area. They've driven a long way to fight the cold and the rain. The referee is Ronald Snyder. The umpire is Brandon Queen. The head linesman is Vincent Watts. The line judge is Mark McDade. And the back judge is Corey Evans. Let's give those guys a big hand for coming so far. Here comes the Wolverines.
Oklahoma. As you see both teams run out of their respective sidelines, and Dion, the sights, the smells, the atmosphere, you know it is time for playoff football here in Oklahoma.
Yes, second round of the playoffs should be a good one indeed. An explosive, athletic MILLWOOD Falcons team coming off a great win in the first round of the playoff, going against Vian. Big, strong, brutal, and tough. That's what they live by here on both sides of the football. It should be a good one from the Wolverines.
Now the band is playing. The coin toss already happened, and it looked like Vian won and deferred to the second half. It's a soupy conditions out there right now. 41 degrees at the time of kickoff. The wind is slight blowing from our right to left across your screen, and then the field conditions, well, less than stellar. They're not going to get great traction out there tonight, but it doesn't matter when you're playing playoff football.
Yeah, as soon as I saw the MILLWOOD team, and they did all their warm-ups without their, shoulder pads and helmets on, but when they rolled out here with the white jerseys after the coin toss, I looked at that and said, yeah, that's probably not going to stay white all night long. I mean, Mom's going to have some tough time getting that jersey back to the way it was looking before the snap and before the kick of the game.
It definitely is going to have some trouble. Kicking off for Vian today is going to be number 9, Elijah Mendoza. Mendoza, a senior, 5'9", 160 pounds, does the kicking duties for Vian. Back deep, it looks like for MILLWOOD is going to be Desmond Green, along with Ronald Sango. Ball is on the tee. The foot hits leather, and we are underway here in Vian. The ball goes over the head of Desmond Green, goes into the end zone, and the MILLWOOD Falcons are going to take over at their 20-yard line.
Yeah, should be prime time field position for this defense. And remember, a defense that's only allowed 25 points all season long. They're not used to getting scored upon.
Yeah, the starters only allowed 25 points all season long, and it was all 25 of those came against Lincoln Christian, a team that is competing the top of their division for sure. So we're going to have to see how Vian and the Wolverines attack MILLWOOD coming out. Right now in the shotgun set is number 1, Harold Bagby.
And as soon as he gets the ball, he slips down in the backfield, and that's going to be a tackle for loss.
That is going to put the Falcons behind the line of scrimmage. Second down and long upcoming for MILLWOOD. Bailey Brown, the man in the backfield right now with Bagby. Brown still in the backfield with Bagby, pardon me. Bagby drops back, and this time he is going to be dropped right in front of the goal line for Vian. Huge play for the Vian defense. Will Lyons came out with a huge tackle there. Not a great field position, though, if you're the Falcons. 2 plays going backwards both times.
Yeah, Lyon and Solomon Wright, both of those guys in the backfield there as soon as the ball was snapped.
Bagby back in the shotgun, and we're going to have a flag. This one's going to go against Vian. And that'll give MILLWOOD some yardage back, but they are still over 7-8 yards behind the chains. Brings up 2nd down and 18 is what we'll call it up here. Or pardon me, 3rd down and 18. Bagby's got trips wide receivers to the far side of the field, 1 to the near. He's got Brown beside him in the gun. It's going to be Bagby, keeps it, rolls left, outside the hash marks, goes to the numbers, brought down right about the 21-yard line. Bagby picks up solid yardage, but it's not enough for a 1st down. Brings up 4th down and about 9.
Yeah, good execution. They were going back there for a minute, but check out the QB draw. You see he finds a small window. Check out the speed from the quarterback for MILLWOOD. That would be Harold Bagby getting up the field and getting at least some room for his punt unit to to get the ball off without being in their own end zone.
Yeah, it is going to force Millwood to punt, though. The ball rolls back to the punter. No rush upcoming, though, for Vian as the punt hits at the 42-yard line. Will take a Millwood bounce to get all the way down to the 41 of the Wolverines. That was a fortunate bounce on both sides of the ball there for the Falcons.
Yeah, luckily enough for Millwood, this Vian team wasn't rushing and going to try to block the punt. But still, great field position for Vian. Let's see what they do here offensively.
Yeah, Vian on their own 41-yard line is where they will take over. The man that was back there to receive the punt was Javen Wright. And you can see number 1 there on your screen. He's going to be the quarterback for the Vian Wolverines. It's going to be a diamond formation for the Wolverines. Wright has got 3 running backs to the side. He fakes it. This time he's going to keep it himself, and he's going to be brought down by a host of Falcons in the backfield. The loss of 1, maybe 2 for Wright, brings up 2nd down and 12, and that was a good job of penetration from the Falcons.
Yeah, it looks like the guy underneath the pile right there, number 4, Robert Mays, coming from looks like his safety position to make a play.
Diamond formation's also been called the full house. I've heard it called before, and Javen Wright has got some weapons. To his right is Zaven Lockey. He's going to give it to the man in the middle. The ball's on the ground. Ball's on the ground. Let's see who comes up with it. On the bottom of the pile, it looks like Aaron Hammond of Millwood. Did he come up with it? He did. Hammond with a huge recovery for Millwood. The Falcons get a break, and they're going to get the ball inside of the Vian 40-yard line. Huge opportunity here for Millwood.
Yeah, definitely just a fumble in the exchange in the snap. It looks like he was giving the ball to number 2, Elijah Wright. Never got a clean handoff, and Millwood's defense is able to hop on top of it with great field position for this offense.
Ball's on the 38-yard line. That's going to bring out Harold Bagby. Bagby in the gun, fakes it, and he's going to run up the middle. Nothing doing, though. Met at the line of scrimmage that time by Will Lyons. We've called his name twice already. Lyons, a big body in the middle. He just bear hugs Bagby that time. Vian going with the 3-down linemen. He's got defensive ends playing on either side. Bagby, hands off this time, Brown. Brown left side, splits her seam. Up to the 30, past the 30 now to about the 26-yard line. Great job that time by Brown to hit a seam and pick up the 1st down.
Yeah, great strong running by Bailey Brown. You can see he lowered his shoulders, found a hole, and was very explosive through that hole too.
First down, the first down for Millwood today.
It's not every day, excuse me, that you see a running back wearing the number 81.
That's very unique. 5-down lineman for Millwood. Bagby's got Brown back there in the backfield again. He's going to give it to Brown. Brown trying to run outside, and that's where the field conditions come in right there, Dion. Brown tried to put his foot in the ground, get upfield, but you can see he just planted that right foot and slipped right out from underneath.
Yeah, that was a great job by Elijah Wright, outside linebacker coming over and containing the offense, doing a good job of setting that edge. When Brown tried to, like you said, put his foot in the turf and cut up, was no traction there, went straight to the ground.
Brown loses 3 yards, brings up 2nd down and 13. Bagby has Brown flanking him to the left, 2 wide receivers near side, 1 to the far. Now he motions to the left. Bagby slips, rolling left the entire way. The left-handed quarterback throws, and it's in and out of the hands. Almost intercepted that time by Gray Cloud. Cloud had it in his hands and was starting to run the other way, Dion, before he dropped the ball behind him.
Yeah, and that was just an inaccurate throw by Bagby there, throwing the ball behind the wide receiver. Luckily for Vian, Cloud was there, almost making a great defensive play, and probably could have took that one to the house there.
Yeah, that could have been a huge break for Vian. Instead, it falls harmlessly to the turf and brings up 3rd down and 13 for the Millwood Falcons. Huge down here. Millwood needs to pick up something to make this a more manageable 4th down here if they choose to go for it. Harold Bagby rolls right, Goes back to left. The left-hander throws across the field, complete right at the 20-yard line. They're going to actually mark him back now at the 21. Pass complete that time to Angelo Bryson, but Bryson will be brought down short of the first down marker. But you don't run that play there unless you're going for it.
And that's a great execution right there by the offense. Just a little throwback to the running back. Kind of sneaks out of the backfield there. Luckily enough for Vian, the safety sees it on the backside and comes up and makes a play. They're going for it here on fourth, though.
Fourth down, 2 wide receivers near side, 2 to the far. Bagby in the gun. Bagby goes for the fake snap there. Bagby now drops back, 2-step drop, throws, fade, corner of the end zone. A lot of Vian defenders around, and it's picked off right at the goal line. Return back to the 5, to the 10. We drop down at the 12. Interception that time for Vian. Looks like it was picked off by Elijah Mendoza. Mendoza comes out with a huge pick, but I mean, honestly, it's worse field position for Vian.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, defensively, it's a good play. You still get the turnover, which is good. But, I mean, it was 4th down. You get the incompletion. You kind of get the ball in better field position, but still a good defensive stop by the defense for Vian on a sudden change situation.
Yeah, Diego Ramos came up with that interception, pardon me, not Mendoza. Diamond formation once again for Vian. Vian gives it right side. Positive yards on first down that time. On the carry was Gray Cloud. Cloud with 4 yards and a cloud of dust right there, but that's exactly what the Vian Wolverines won on first down.
4.
Ah, dang it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
You know, I was stretching there anyway. I'll give it to you.
Yeah, and if you're new to the broadcast, me and Seth do this little game that we like to do. We like to, you know, give a judge from 1 to 10 how each other's jokes are, and that one was definitely a 4. I think y'all would all agree with me.
Well, you know, it's not a 4 is the running back, Javen Wright. He's a 1, and he's showing it off right there. Running up the middle, right, with a gain of a few yards. He was almost into open field, but once again, you see the field conditions coming into play. Wright loses his grip as he's trying to come up.
Yeah, take a look at the replay here. You can see he's getting quarterback power up the middle. Tries to put his foot in the turf, in the field, and slips down right there.
The reason why the clock is stopped is the referees are holding the ball up. There might have been a flag on that play, so we're trying to decide what is going on.
It looks like there was a false start by the offense. They are marking the ball back.
If you came here looking for an offensive powerhouse, Dion, a lot of points scored and wanting to be entertained, I'm going to tell you, this is not the broadcast for you. Both of these teams play fantastic defense, as we said. The Vian defense, their starters have only given up 25 points all year long. And meanwhile, Millwood, in their 9 wins, have only averaged giving up 9 points. Handoff left side this time is going to be Elijah Wright. Another flag comes in, though. Wright dragging a defender as he was getting out close to that first down marker, but we'll have to see what the flag is.
Yeah, I didn't see anything that would cause a flag there. It's going to be interesting to see what they actually call here. Looks like it's going to be a holding on Vian.
That'll drop the Wolverines back another 10 yards, and now they're in the shadow of their own end zone.
And you got to remember, this is a running offense. They like to get the ball between the tackles and keep on going forward. Throwing the ball in this and staying and being behind. Being behind the chains isn't something that they like to do ideally.
2nd and 21.
2nd down, 16. Ball's at the 14-yard line. Quarterback gets under center. He's going to pitch it out on the
Quarterback is under center this time, and the sweep out to the right has got space. Out to the 30, or pardon, to the 25, just short of the 30. That time it is Gray Cloud. Cloud that time running. You can just see his jersey there, Dion. He is covered in mud, but it doesn't stop Cloud from picking up that first down.
Yeah, just a nice little outside sweep. Good blocking on the outside. Elijah Wright picking up a big-time block and still looking for more. Take a look at that as he knocks down the player on the outside, the contained player.
Hey, you said 2nd down and 21. That's a long ways to go for this Vian offense. They said just watch. Right side of the field is where the ball is placed. They're going to give it this time. Fullback Zaven Lockie, tough to bring down, charting ahead, but it's going to be just a gain of a few yards, Dion.
Yeah, Lackey with a strong run right there, refusing to go down. Starts the play in the A-gap, ends up outside the numbers here, and still plowing forward to get some more yards. And that's a good pickup on first down.
Second down, about 7 is what we'll call it up here in the booth. The nose of the ball is touching the 30-yard line. They need to get to the 37. Diamond formation for Jaden Wright. Give, left side, Lackey tripped up, line of scrimmage, but he's still on his feet before he's going to be brought down by a few Falcons in the backfield.
Yeah, and that's something that Lackey's going to learn very quickly. You can't go outside on this Millwood team. They got the speed to meet you out there and try to make a play. Although Lackey did a good job putting his shoulder down and giving the business to one of the Millwood defenders, still not enough to get any yardage there on second down.
But what you're talking about, how he finished that run, that is Vian's power right there. Their power is their strong suit. So run it up the middle, use your big guys, use your power. Don't try and outspeed Millwood because you're going to lose that battle.
Yeah, between the tackles is where they need to stay.
Nobody in the backfield this time for Javen Wright. The ball's on the ground this time, and it wasn't Javen Wright back there in the backfield. It was actually Elijah Wright that took the snap, and it looks like they're going to try and run a jet sweep. But when you put that new quarterback back there in the backfield that hasn't taken a snap yet, you run the risk of something like that happening.
Yeah, definitely, and it looks like they're going to have to punt the ball away here.
Trying to get tricky on third down results in a loss of about 1, brings up 4th down and 10 for Vian. And the defensive struggle that we thought we would see so far has come true in this first quarter.
4th and 10 after that 3-yard loss.
Diego Ramos back for the punter, back for Vian. The ball is high. He picks it up and he's kicked it away, but that is not a great kick. A roll to about the 32-yard line is where Vian will take over. Or pardon me, Millwood will take over. Millwood with another opportunity to get good field position here and take advantage. Man, tough break there that time.
Another tough break for Vian. You see, the snap was high, having to bobble it still, though, enough time to gather it, but doesn't. He rushes the process, kicks the tip of the football, and because of it, flutters high in the air and has no distance, gives Millwood excellent field position.
Noah Mendoza was the punter that time. Pardon me, I misidentified the punter. All right, now the Falcons are going to take over ball on the 34-yard line. They're going to give it this time to Brown. Brown trying to run outside is going to be tackled. No gain on the play as Brown is pursued out of bounds that time. It looked like on the tackle was Gunnar Griffith. Griffith getting in on the action for Vian and brings up 2nd down and 10.
Also, Lackey, number 24, outside linebacker, coming up and making a nice play over there on that left side as well.
2nd down and 10, as you said, ball on the 34-yard line. It's a muddy day here in Vian, Oklahoma, between these two Class 2A teams. 3rd year that these teams have met. They've split the previous 2 decisions. This is going to be the tiebreaker right here. Right, running right all the way. Breaks a tackle in the backfield. Gets up now to the line of scrimmage and will be brought down. That time, great pursuit by the Vian defense.
It really was. I mean, just a number of guys. We said this is a big, strong, physical Vian football team. But look at Elijah just run through a block. Although he misses the tackle, he still forces the quarterback, Bagby, to cut it back up, and a host of Vian Wolverines there to meet him when he does.
Clock winding down, under 1:10 to go in the first quarter. It's been a defensive battle so far. 3rd down and 11. It's going to be a keeper this time for the quarterback, and nothing doing that time for Harold Bagby. Bagby brought down on a draw, and he's going to lose a few yards.
Yeah, there's nothing going between the tackles here. And you can see the frustration a little bit from the quarterback, Bagby, trying to direct his offensive line into the correct play call and correct formation. And I hate to tell him, it's not the offensive line, it's just the efficiency and the talent from this front 7 right now for Vian.
This is a game that you as a former defensive player should love, Dion. Out here in the muck, in the mud, getting dirty, letting guys play.
What about me says that I would like to play in the mud?
Defense. Defenders like to get down and dirty. No, you don't?
I think that's a
misconception?
A misconception indeed.
Well, there is no misconception about this game. Two defensive teams that are pounding each other really on the side. As we go to break, no score after 1 quarter here in Vian, Oklahoma. Welcome back here, Bravado Wireless Game of the Week. We're in Vian, Oklahoma. 4th down and long upcoming for MILLWOOD Falcons. Bagby throws over the middle and it is intercepted. Intercepted at the 20-yard line. Javen Wright is going to bring it back past midfield to the 40. A huge hit along the sideline and be brought down right at the 41-yard line. Wright with a huge return.
That was a great job by Mr. Wright, concentrating on the ball and bringing it in. Take a look at this. He bobbles that interception, but still has the wherewithal and the concentration to still make the completion. Look at that. Right there from your quarterback. And cornerback turned cornerback, takes a nice return and gives his offense great field position. And it was very essential that he did that because this offense has been struggling. They needed some great field position, and it wouldn't be surprised if they would have, tried to ask this defense to score and get some points on the board.
Javen Wright comes back in after that huge interception. We'll be back in at quarterback. A tight formation for Vian, only one wide receiver, everybody else inside the box. The give this time, running right side or left side, pardon me, is Gray Cloud. Cloud picks up 5 yards. Positive game that time for Vian. You'd see him stretching the field a little bit, but as we said, eventually they will cut it upfield and pound it against this MILLWOOD Falcons defense.
Yeah, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter. A great defensive quarter for both of these teams. Misfortune found a lot of the hands of some offensive players, but should be an interesting game because it's been a hard-hitting game at that.
Yeah, it has been a hard-hitting game. You're right, and we're ending up going into the second quarter, and I'm going to let you know that you can give the gift of unlimited internet this holiday season. Check out Bravado Wireless's unlimited internet plans today, and you can get $99 off of a brand new router. Make sure that this holiday season is bold and bright by giving the power of connection. Restrictions do apply, but see your local Bravado store for details. And tonight's game is brought to you in part by our good friends at Simtel. Simtel has long been a critical part of communications across northeastern Oklahoma. Manford, Cleveland, Sand Springs, Osage, and many more benefits from the wide array of services Simtel has to offer. From a traditional phone and cable to lightning-fast, high-speed internet, Simtel is proving new and innovative ways to live connected. Are you connected and ready to be connected? Learn more at simtel.net. Vian will change into the field, Dion, and they're going to be moving from our right to our left. Javen Wright is back in. Offset eye to his left. He's going to keep it all the way right. Probing behind the left tackle, still on his feet at the 30. To the 25 is brought down at the 22-yard line. Wright did a nice job that time of being patient and waiting for his blockers.
I was going to say the exact same thing, Seth. A good job of being patient. Watch this. Following his blockers, allowing them to get up the field and clearing the path for him and to get some big yards for this Vian Wolverine offense.
0-0 to score, second quarter just getting underway. Vian with their best opportunity of the night so far. And MILLWOOD senses the momentum shift, and they know that they can't give up a big play. There's a timeout. A timeout was called by Vian, pardon me. I thought it was called by MILLWOOD, but it'll be called by Vian. And you can tell that both of these teams really want to get this play right. He's saying, we're going to take this one to a break. No score. Vian threatening here at the opening minutes of the second quarter.
There is truly no place like home. Right here in Eastern Oklahoma, Bravado Wireless provides the best unlimited talk, text, and data for only $40 a month. We believe in strong, connected communities. That's why we live stream community events like local football games. You may not know us by name, but we'll be at the same festivals and cheering for our kids on the same sidelines, because we live where you live. Visit bravadowireless.com or visit one of our stores, where we make it easy to join our family. Bravado Wireless. We believe in the power of connection.
Welcome back to the Bravado Wireless Game of the Week. We are in Vian, Oklahoma. The Vian Wolverines taking on the MILLWOOD Falcons. No score yet. Vian threatening. Give this time to Gray Cloud. Cloud stays on his feet and rumbles all the way down to the 15-yard line. Another positive pickup on first down for Vian.
Yeah, it was a big hole over there to that left side of the offense. Good job by the offensive line clearing a path, actually leaving one player unblocked, and Cloud just having the speed to run past him.
Second down, about 4 yards to go. Cloud, handoff, middle, runs right tackle, brought down right around the line of scrimmage, will fall forward for a gain of, we'll call it about 5, and he's going to pick up that first down.
Man, I know the whole football terminology of 3 yards or 4 yards in a cloud of dust, but this one is definitely an offensive series that it's been 4 yards in a cloud of dirt for Vian, doing a good job of keeping these drives alive and getting these first downs.
Ball snapped wide of right. Right falls down on it. That is a huge, huge blunder that time for the Vian Wolverines. Javen Wright has the ball. Snapped to his right. Can't haul it in. Has to fall on it behind the line of scrimmage and brings up second down, and we'll call it about 20.
And that's continuously happened for this offense in this game. They've had some positive yardage, they've had some good plays, and then there's one mistake, one penalty, one fumble of the snap that happens, and it kind of stalls that drive. Let's see if they can overcome this offensively.
Ball set on the 21-yard line. They need to get all the way down to the 3. They're going to run it this time. Left side. Up the sideline. 5. Touchdown, Vian. That time on the run, Zaven Lackey. Huge run up to our left. It's really hard to see down there in that corner, but Lackey did a good job of getting down the sideline.
And that he did a good job of staying in bounds at first. Good job by getting the edge, and he had the edge because he had some great blocking on the outside. One of the adjustments that this Vian offense has done is they've moved up number 2 from that diamond formation almost as an H-back, wing-back player. He's set on the edge right behind the tight end. Because of that, he's allowed to go up and get the edge protector for the defense, those outside linebackers, and kind of shield them in. Lackey saw that, bounced it outside. Great blocking by the receivers on the outside, was able to tiptoe down the sideline and then get into the end zone. Check it out here on the replay. You see number 2, Elijah, gets the edge block right there. You see great blocking from the wide receiver, and watch him tiptoe, take on defenders, and get into the end zone. Once again, Elijah hinge blocks over there on the edge. Number 40 picks up some great blocking as well and finds his way into the end zone.
Yeah, great block, as you said, by Elijah Wright and Dylan Murchison. Setting those edge blocks, letting Lackey get down the sideline, and Vian was looking like they were in desperation mode a little bit with their offense. When you get behind the chains if you're the Vian Wolverines, you can't. It's not where your offense wants to be, but they make the best of a bad situation there and punch it into the end zone. Elijah Mendoza puts the ball on the tee. He's going to take a few steps back now to his position, make sure everybody is set on his side. MILLWOOD is set on theirs, and Vian takes the early 7-0 lead here in this rematch from the past 2 years of the playoffs. It's the 3rd consecutive year these two teams have met in the second round. As Mendoza kicks this one away, and it's a fantastic kick. It's going to be fumbled right at the goal line. It's going to be taken out of the end zone. Now the head referee Ronald Snoddy is going to blow the ball down, and that means that MILLWOOD will take over at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, I believe the ball did hit that goal line right there, which allowed the referee to blow the ball dead. Remember, in high school football, ball gets into the end zone. Referee calls it dead, and they just take it on the 25-yard line.
Mendoza's got a leg. He is a weapon for Vian.
Was talking to some of the radio guys up here we're sharing the booth with, and they cover Vian extensively and on the radio, and they were telling us, don't watch out for this kicker here. He's got a leg on him.
Millwood going to throw this time. Slant route is in and out of the hands of the intended target. That time, the intended target for Millwood was Desmond Green. But do you notice somebody different behind center for Millwood? There looks like you're going to bring in Leon Mackey to take some snaps. Maybe a guy that has maybe a little bit of a better throwing motion, throwing arm for Millwood this time.
And this was the original starter beginning of the year.
Mackey in the gun.
And I'll talk about that a little bit later as the contest goes on.
Looks like he's got Angelo Bryson beside him. Mackey gives to Bryson. Bryson just churning ahead for a few yards. Does a good job of, just picking up any kind of positive yards there. He had to make a man miss in the backfield. Picks up, we'll call it 2, but brings up 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, and it's gonna be interesting to see what they go with here, because you saw that first passing attempt on 1st down wasn't successful. The ball's a little heavier because of the precipitation in the air. Guys' hands are wet, and so you saw drops like that happen on 1st down. It's gonna be interesting to see what they call here on 3rd.
Mackey in the gun, drops back, throws, middle of the field, well short of his intended target, Brown. Falls incomplete, brings up 4th down and 8, and looks like Millwood is going to bring out the punting unit.
Yeah, Leon Mackey held that ball short, and it was closer to a to a Vian defender than it was an offensive player for Millwood. But I want to describe to you what was in the pressure that took place right there. You saw a blitz from the B gap from Elijah, Wright coming off, and then you saw an excellent swim move from Solomon Wright, and he also was able to get in the backfield. That's why that pass was hurried up a little bit, and that's why the receivers were looking down the field and saying, hey, where's the football? And it was already at their feet.
Before the snap is going to happen, we have a official call a penalty that is going to go against Millwood. So shooting yourself there in the foot a little bit, going to back yourself up 5 more yards. Yeah,
and this defense is just very, very talented, and not only talented, well coached. Kenyatta Wright, a former linebacker for Oklahoma State, former NFL player as well. He was coached by that Buddy Ryan's defense there in Oklahoma State for quite a while, and you can tell he's well coached this team up on defense.
Javen Wright puts his back of his foot on the 50-yard line, but the ball doesn't even get there. It hits at the 40, it rolls to the 42. It just died. Like a golfer trying to get onto the green there, the ball hit and died right at the 40-yard line. They'll mark it, as I said, at the 42, but that's where Vian will take over with great field position.
And to continue our little conversation, I want you to watch defensively Vian the next time they go back out there. You can see the defensive line. They have all the tools in their tool belt. I've seen a swim move, a jump swim, a jump cut, a jump up and under. They have all the tools in their back pocket to use to get away from the offensive line for Millwood.
And see if their offense can use some of their tools to expand their lead. Handoff right side. That's a huge hole that time for Gray Cloud. You can see that Vian has kind of found their bread and butter, which you were talking about earlier, Dion, is not out to the sideline, but run it right up the middle with your big fellas.
Right between the tackles, and it's very interesting because you look at Cloud and you see the other backs that Vian has. I mean, you saw Lackey, you saw Elijah Wright, and another number of guys touch and run the ball. And they're kind of those big bruising backs that run tough and also have some speed. You would think Cloud is the slasher, but he runs between the tackles tough.
Right, keeps it left side. Shakes a tackler right around the 29-yard line, falls forward to the 26. Now Vian looks like they've kind of found something on offense and are really pounding it forward, Dion.
Yeah, Javian Wright doing a good job of running the quarterback power there.
Second quarter, 8:22 and counting. 7-0 the score in favor of Vian. Vian looking to make it a 2-score lead over Millwood.
tough traction right here. You can see all the mud in the middle of the field right there.
Jamin Wright gives it to Cloud. Cloud running right side. Cloud breaks through the line of scrimmage. Cloud 10, 5, touchdown! Vian's on Cloud 9 right now. Gray Cloud punches it in, and the Wolverines go up 2 scores.
Yeah, and just an excellent blocking, just an excellent hole from this Vian offensive line. Creates a big gap there for Cloud to run through, and he takes it in for the score. Nothing but daylight there for Cloud.
Cloud breaks free and pinning the extra point. The Wolverines can go up 14-0. The extra point is up, and it goes through the uprights. A 14-0 lead for the Wolverines. Let's take another look at the replay.
Take a look at the blocking. You can't really see it well, but you can see nobody touch Cloud as he runs straight for the pylon and gets in for the second touchdown for the Vian Wolverines.
You can definitely tell that the game plan is switched for Vian on that drive to pounding the ball up the middle, running it behind their big offensive linemen, and it really worked out well for them on that drive. If you're tired of traveling over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house, and just to realize that there is no cell phone service, here's your chance to change all of that. Switch over to the Bravado Wireless, and you can be a part of America's best network while keeping your phone budget to a price even your grandma would approve of, Dion.
Grandma's got to have some internet, too.
Grandma's got to have some internet. She's got to have some nice prices. And, you know, Grandma could use some AirPod Pros, too.
She can't have mine.
Exactly. Dion Amade, Seth Campbell bringing you the action from St. John's Stadium in Vian, Oklahoma. The Wolverines lead 14-0 over the Falcons. Ball taken at the goal line. Running left side that time is Desmond Green. Green found some daylight along the left side, but he's going to be brought down right around the 25-yard line. The man down on the middle of the field is a Falcon. And he's not moving very fast, so they're going to have to help him off the field. But Dion from Millwood, they've gone scoreless so far for this game. What do you want to see from their offense?
Offensively, they got to attack between the tackles. They got to get north and south. They've tried to be creative, and I know it's easier said than done because the defensive line for Vian is being very aggressive, doing some good things there, but they're going to have to find a way to get north and south and get
You see, Aaron Hammond was the man that was down on the field.
Yeah, he's back on us.
Aaron Hammond goes off. Millwood is going to take over after a penalty. They're going to take over inside their own 10-yard line. The Falcons had an opportunity early in this game with 2 good chances in Vian territory. The Vian defense held, and now the past 2 times they haven't had great field position at all. Handoff up the middle is going for about a yard. That time for the Falcons, not a lot doing. So it's even going to be a loss of, it's a gain of about 2. Second down and 8. Back in at quarterback now is Michael Taffy, looks like. It's the 3rd quarterback Millwood has run out there today. And the ball goes through Taffy's hand in the back of the end zone. And it is going to be a safety. The Vian defense comes up huge. Ball goes out of the back of the end zone. A safety for the Wolverines, and nothing quite going right now for the Falcons.
Yeah, and I can't tell if that was an all-out blitz that Kenyatta Wright and that defense was going after, or if it was just a situation. No, that was definitely a blitz. 2 linebackers coming from opposite sides of the field, both of them crashing that B gap right there, and just finds its way, the ball, finds its way to the back of the end zone. They're not able to hop on it, but they collect the 2 points from it.
16-0 in favor of Vian now, and they get the ball after the safety will be punted away. And all smiles for the defensive coordinator of the Vian Wolverines.
Means they still have that 0 on the scoreboard that they're used to, so I don't see why you wouldn't see a smile on his face as the return team comes on to pick something up and get that offense back on the field.
The ball will be placed back on the 20-yard line, 25-yard line. No, the official's moving back to the 20. Everybody wants to line up at the 25. Millwood is going to punt it away, or they have the opportunity to place it down. Looks like they are going to indeed place it down and let their kicker go from there. .709 left, second quarter. All Vian so far in this contest. Millwood kicks it away. It'll be fielded by Wright at the 40-yard line. Wright gathers himself, cuts it up in the middle. Wright, 40, over defender to the 30. Dropped out of bounds right around the 29, 28-yard line. There is a flag here at the 40-yard line of the Wolverines. We'll have to see what happens. There's actually 2 flags down.
Yeah, 2 flags at the same spot, so 2 refs must have saw the same exact thing. In that vicinity, it's most likely going to be a holding call, but great return by Vian Wright, taking the ball all the way down to about the 30-yard line.
He's an explosive.
You see the speed when the ball gets in his hands, especially when he hits the open field.
You can see why the Wolverines want the ball in his hands every single time. You know, whether it is him handing it off or him, running it himself, he can do a lot with the ball, and that's why they wanted to snap to him at the quarterback position.
And you see they call a personal foul on the kickoff right there. You saw a situation where it looks like it was targeting, but still a good return, but it all for naught as they have to move the ball all the way back to about, what's that, the 40, 42, 43-yard line?
Right around in there. It's not an exact science out here on the murky, muddy field at St. John's Stadium. Wright in the gun. Fakes the give this time, running up the middle. Wright with space, past the 50 to the 48. Right around the first down marker is Vian Wright, but you saw on that return and right there, Wright is a hard man to bring down in space.
Yeah, and it looks like this Millwood defense has switched to this 4-4 front, kind of trying to load up in the box and stop this run. Let's take a look at it as they roll out here. You see man-to-man on the outside, 1 safety high. You see.
This time it's going to give to Zavid. Lackey not doing much of anything, though. Actually going to be dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Great tackle and penetration by Dominic Godwin. Godwin drops Lackey for a loss of 1, brings up 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, and Lackey continues to try to bounce the ball outside. Every time he gets through the hole, he tries to veer to the sideline and find some daylight. Not going to be successful with the speed of this Millwood defense, so they're going to have to, try to continue to go north and south.
Cloud running up the middle. Cloud picks up the first down.
That's exactly what he does. Gets up the field and gets enough yards for that first down.
And you can see Cloud just running all right off the right tackle. And I mean, great push by the Vian offensive line. Cloud wasn't touched until he was 3-4 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. Ball crosses the 50 and we place at the 44. Wright is in the gun. He's got Cloud beside him to his left. Wright gives it to Cloud, running right. This time Cloud just picks up about 2 yards before he's dropped by the Falcons defense.
There's no pun intended in this, but it's getting a lot muddier for this offense, especially the running backs. I mean, a lot of congestion inside the offensive line. The difference between the last series and this one is now you see Millwood almost 5 guys on the line of scrimmage. You got 2 outside linebackers coming off the edge, 3 defensive linemen, and then another 3 linebackers behind them over there at that.
Right, running left side. This time hit right around the line of scrimmage. Great job that time by the defensive end, Tyler Taffy. Taffy was able to shed his blocker and make a good tackle.
Yeah, it's a good job coming off the outside and just fall. You know you're supposed to keep contained. He does his job there, makes the quarterback cut it up, and then does another great job of shedding the block, coming off, and making the tackle.
You said that Millwood has gone to loading the box and playing man-to-man on the outside here with the wide receiver number 3, Brett McElhaney. When do you take a shot if you're Vian? Not this time. It's a handoff his left side. That time, it is Zaven Lackey, who is just a man and a beast to bring down. But there is a flag back in the middle of the field, so we'll have to see if Lackey's run stands. Ronald Snoddy, our head official for tonight's game. And he'll be holding against Vian, brings the ball back to the other side of the 50-yard line. We'll spot it at the 48 of the Wolverines. So Vian going backwards to negate the nice run by Lackey. Brings up 3rd down, 7 to go.
Yeah, I mean, with the type of game plan they have here offensively, I don't see a lot of run plays that'll get you 3rd and 15.
See what Vian draws up this time. It's going to be an option. They're going to set up a screen pass run on the right side. The throw is over the intended target that time of Dylan Murchison. Murchison was alone over there with a few blockers, but the right couldn't get the ball to him, and it's going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, that's an ideal call for 3rd and 15. Nice screen pass over there to the outside with a host of blockers to help you along the way. Number 40 for this Vian offense, who's been a fullback doing a great job of blocking all day.
Yeah, Dylan Murchison.
Yeah, he wasn't able to get a hold of the football and convert there.
Vian had a little trouble last time they punted, so we'll have to see. The snap is better this time. The snap is better. It is fielded and kicked away. This time the spiral kick will land at the 28 and kick sideways. That is not a favorable bounce if you're Vian, but it also doesn't necessarily go against you. It lands at the 28 and is going to be down to that at the 28. That's where Millwood will take over. The Falcons looking to get on the board for their first score of the game.
Yeah, and that was a good job. I mean, it was aided by a penalty, but a good job by this defense for Millwood getting off the field and getting their offense back on it, trying to get some points here before halftime with only 3 minutes and 50 seconds left.
Millwood this time is going to throw over the middle, complete. Dropped that time. Angelo Bryson had it in his hands, dropped it. And it's just been that kind of day for Millwood so far.
Yeah, and right there, they do a good job. They sneak number 5 in as the H-back, check him out right there behind the line of scrimmage, comes out of the backfield across the middle. The defense tries to get the completion, but it looks like the pass was just a little too
perfect.
Hit him right on the numbers, right in that 5. And he just drops the ball. Looks like we got another quarterback in the game as well for Millwood.
Michael Taffy?
Looks like to be number 9, Michael Taffy.
We got a flag on the play. We're going to see if it's going to be a false start. It is. Vian sent a man up to the line of scrimmage, looking like they were going to blitz, and Millwood jumped. That's a 5-yard penalty against the Falcons. 2nd and 10 turns into 2nd and 15, and Millwood's gone the wrong way the past 3 drives. Five down linemen for the Falcons. Two wide receivers split out in a stack formation to either side. Taffy drops back, looks left the entire way, throws off of his back foot, but he's nowhere near. The Falcons are running go routes, but Taffy, I mean, can't get the ball to him because of the pressure from Vian.
And guess who's back there sitting in his lap once again? That'd be number 7, Solomon Wright, doing a good job of getting away from the blockers and the offensive line and just getting in that backfield constantly.
And Vian said that they were not going to sit back. They were going to put pressure on whoever was playing quarterback for MILLWOOD, and they have done that so far today. Taffy in the gun, his right foot slightly behind his left. Rolling right, sheds one tackler, but he's not going to get away from the second. Brought down in the backfield that time by Nick Hughes. Hughes with a huge sack. Brings up 4th down and long. And Vian just pushing all of the right buttons right now.
Yeah, take a look at Solomon. As soon as he gets off the ball, he just can't bring the tackler down, but that's all right. Number 70 for Vian. Nick Hodges is there to get the sack.
You see the clock in the background of that shot is winding down, and Vian is going to get another opportunity on the offensive side before this half ends to really see if they can put their foot on the throat of the Wolverines. We got a flag in the backfield way back here at the 50-yard line. It's normally from a position of there's too many men on the field. And this time it's going to go against the Falcons again and back them even farther back into their own end zone. Ball will be spotted on the 5-yard line. 4th down. Snap is good. The kick is away, and it is not a great punt, as it does hit a Vian player, but it is fall. Looks like Elijah Mendoza falls on it. That's a strange play there. The kick was not very great, and it looks like it rolled into Mendoza's leg right here. But Mendoza falls on it anyway, so really no harm, no foul there, Dion. Vian, I mean, talk about an opportunity. They got the ball on the 22-yard line, 2 minutes, 51 seconds left. And as I said, an opportunity to put their foot on the throat of the Falcons. Really push down. This time, Elijah Wright in at the quarterback position. Wright running left. Stays on his feet all the way to the 15-yard line. Wright was hit way back at the 20. But that didn't stop Elijah Wright from staying on his feet, falling forward, and picking up 5 yards.
Yeah, just quarterback power right there with the Wildcat. Elijah Wright coming from his H-back position, now playing quarterback and straight power game. See if you can tackle me.
And Vian, not in any hurry right now. Ball on the 15-yard line. They feel like they can run this clock down as far as possible. As you can see, the play clock now at 9 seconds in the back of that shot. They're running the play clock down and snapping with about 0. This time, give right side Cloud. Cloud retraces his steps, goes back across the field, and is going to be dropped for a loss. Cloud loses about 7 yards, and what was 2nd down and very manageable turns down to 3rd down and 13.
Yeah, and you can see there was immediate pressure. Looked like number 32 was able to get in the backfield for MILLWOOD, Tyler Taffy. He's had a pretty good game defensively for the Falcons.
Right, gives, left side, Cloud. He dropped at the 20-yard line. He picks up about 5, but it does bring up 4th down and 8 for Vian. So it was looking like a promising drive. It's going to come down to a big 4th down for the Wolverines.
You remember, they do have a kicker for Vian. Number 9, Elijah Mendoza. Been told that he has a good leg. We've seen him on the extra point attempt and looked pretty impressive.
See if they decide to go for it, if they run the play clock all the way down and call a timeout. They haven't broken the huddle yet, and the play clock is at 5. It looks like Vian is going to elect to run this bad boy all the way down, call a timeout. They do. Play clock hits 0. Vian calls a timeout. The game clock at 43 seconds. And we are going to have an opportunity here for Vian to get the field goal, or they can go for it. It'll be up to head coach Gary Willis on what he wants to do. If you are Willis, we're going to have to see what he wants to do after this break here on the Bravado Wireless Game of the Week. Vian leading Millwood 16-0. Welcome back to Bravado Wireless Game of the Week. We're in Vian, Oklahoma. The Vian Wolverines leading the Millwood Falcons 16-0, as you can see on your screen. Seth Campbell bringing you the play-by-play action, joined alongside former Oklahoma State safety Dion Amade. And Dion, Vian has just been able to establish the running game right up the gut, and as they're going to try here on 4th down. The give, right side, Lackey running, but he's going to be tripped up before he can pick up the first down.
And it looks like it's Mr. Goodwin, number 20, that's able to get just enough of Lackey to bring him down to the ground, because if he doesn't make that tackle, I think he might have reached the end zone. Take another look at this. It's good blocking by everybody. You see number 20 dive in there, gets enough of a shot on Lackey and brings him down to the turf.
Yeah, Vian went back to what's been their bread and butter of this game, which is running between the tackles, and they've really done a great job of it and have established on their 2 touchdown drives. Fantastic, a fantastic running game. This pass is complete to the right side, that time completed to Desmond Green. Nice hard tackle on the right, as you can see on your screen. Number 9, Elijah Mendoza comes up with a good tackle for Vian. Green stayed in bounds, though, and Millwood is not going to elect to call a timeout. So clock's running down, under 15. Rolling to the left, there goes Mackey. Mackey throws, and it will be wide and out of bounds.
That's a good job. That's a smart play by the quarterback. You don't see anything downfield. Instead of, taking more time off the clock, you just throw it out of bounds. This is a good job. You prevent defense, everything in front of you. Good job of putting the ball in play, but still, they need to get closer to that out of bounds and step out of bounds and save some clock.
Millwood did have timeouts they could have liked to use. They might not want to call the timeout, though, just to make sure Vian doesn't come back on the field. Millwood drops back, and that's going to be thrown and hits just short of the intended target, Harold Bagby. And Leon Mackey having some tough times back there trying to throw the ball. It's going to bring up 4th down and very, very short. They call that inches, Dion.
Yeah,
but there's also 6.5 seconds left in the game, in the quarter.
And it looks like they're going to elect to punt the football instead of going for it on 4th and short here.
This is an opportunity that we have seen multiple times happen this year, Dion. If the kick doesn't go to Javen Wright, which I wouldn't. The play clock winding down now, and is going to force Millwood to take a timeout. So Millwood calls one of their 2 remaining timeouts. And as I was saying, this is an opportunity here. If you're Millwood, you go into this timeout, you need to coach your guys. And if you're head coach Darwin Franklin, if the ball hits and is not fielded by anybody, just let the clock run down. We've seen it multiple times happen where guys will just touch the ball instead of letting time run off of the clock. You can coach guys here, and then you can also coach your punter. Kick it away from that Javen Wright kid.
Yeah, with the speed that he has and the ability, I wouldn't want to try to get the ball in his hand. You try to get a guy, if he can, directionally punt it away from, and like you said, punt it away from Javian Wright and get the ball out of that athlete's hands. And then also, don't touch the ball if he lets it go. Let that time, run out, and let's just go into halftime. Luckily enough, only being down by 16.
Javen Wright is only 20 yards away from the line of scrimmage. He is back, what you would guess, call deep, and the ball is rolled and picked up right at the 30-yard line. That ball was hit like a grounder in baseball, fielded by Lackey, as it looks like. Lackey was trying to return it, but he's going to be brought down at the 30-yard line, and that is going to do it for our first half of play. It is all Vian, as you see the replay of the punt. It has been all Vian Wolverines. They lead 16-0 over Millwood. Dion, what have you seen from Vian that has given them this big lead?
Well, they've just been able to run the ball better than Millwood has. They're bigger and they're stronger, and they've, forced their will upon this Millwood team. Good job, good adjustment by the offense, bringing up that wing back, H-back from Elijah Wright, and he's been able to set the edge, pick up some great blocking, and this Millwood defense isn't able to get off the block.
It's still the locker room for both of these teams, and for the Falcons, it's back to the drawing board to see if they can draw up some offense. Meanwhile, we're going to go to a break. The Vian Wolverines lead 16-0 over the Millwood Falcons here on the Bravado Wireless Game of the Week.
We were there when your grandparents made their first telephone call. We were there when your parents were able to choose what to watch on cable. And now, we are here for you, providing high-speed internet service to your family. There is one thing we know for sure. No matter what happens next, Cross is here to keep you connected. Cross, serving families like yours, today and tomorrow. We were there.
You are called to be bold. You have a right to the best wireless service, high-speed internet, and customer service at a price you can feel good about. At Bravado Wireless, we know this, and that's why we put you and your community first. We are owned and operated right here in Eastern Oklahoma. We live where you live. We proudly connect you to your family, friends, and business partners wherever they are. Dallas, Seattle, Taipei, Toronto, and anywhere else in the world. We are Bravado Wireless. We believe in the power of connection.
Vian is going to get the chance to get the ball first as the Millwood Falcons are going to have to kick it away to them. We are in Vian, Oklahoma for what has turned into a decent day. It's a little chilly outside, but the rain has stopped in what was there's no other really definition to describe it, way to describe it, Dion, besides that the rain was spitting in your face.
I mean, I wouldn't describe it that way. It was more of a mist. I mean, how about that? How about that description?
So I like the descriptive words of spitting in your face. It really paints a word picture, which is, I think, what we're here for. But anyway, Millwood is going to need to paint a picture of a better offense if they want to get back into this game. And that's not necessarily a great start as the opening kick of the second half goes into the band.
Yeah, that was not the ideal kick for Millwood and not the way that they wanted to start off the second half. But it will be great field position for Vian and their offense, and we'll see what kind of adjustments were made in the second half from both of these squads, primarily defensively for Millwood. As you can see on your score, Vian had some success offensively there late in the second quarter and late in the first quarter and in the second. So let's see what they do here.
Javen Wright is in the gun. Looks like he has got Gray Cloud beside him. The give Cloud right side. Not a whole lot doing. Picked up about 2 yards that time. It looked like good penetration from the defensive line of the Falcons.
You can see that Millwood defense showing an all-out blitz with each linebacker stepping up into a gap. You still have about, count them up, 8 players in the box, 2 outside linebackers, 3 defensive linemen, and then 3 linebackers in the backfield as well. Corner, and 1 high safety playing man-to-man.
Right, gonna throw. He's got a man wide open in the middle of the field behind the defense. Complete, Elijah Wright. 20, 10, 5, touchdown Wolverines!
And they lull them to sleep with the H-back, sneaks out of the backfield, and goes in for a touchdown.
Elijah Wright finds just a hole in the defense, like you were saying, Dion. And that was the right move there for Elijah Wright as the Wolverines go up 22-0.
That was definitely an 8. And a great job by number 2. Because you know how it is in this game set. Sometimes you can be as open as you know what, and you can just drop the ball. The pressure gets to you. But Elijah Wright doing a good job staying calm, cool, and collective. Just in the open field by himself, grabs the completion and takes it all the way down to the end zone.
Yeah, we got a delay in the play right here because defensive lineman Chris Stripling had to run all the way back to the 40-yard line and pick up his mouthpiece that he had dropped on the ground. Stripling then comes back to the right side of the line, and we're going to now have the extra point pending. That is exactly what you wanted if you're Vian, and really, if you're the Falcons, I mean, what you couldn't have. Going to have a penalty coming in. 11:15 left to go. Vian striking first. It's going to be a false start against Vian. But, you know, for some high schools, especially the 2A level, moving back 5 yards for an extra point might put a strain on their kicker. But Vian's kicker, Elijah Mendoza, he's got a leg, and this should be easy money for Mendoza. We'll see. The snap is down, the kick is up, and it is good, but there is another penalty down, and these untimed downs here, Dion, they're going to make this one is going to go against Millwood, and so all the yards that Vian lost, they're just going to get right back, and we're going to do all of this all over again, Dion.
So, I mean,
so
it's
taking
a lot longer to get this extra point than it actually did to score that touchdown.
Mendoza is waiting, puts his tee down. Snap will be placed right at the 10-yard line. Mendoza step, kick splits the uprights. 23-0. That was a lot of work for 1 point, Dion, but it does go up on the board, and Vian leads 23-0. Just take a look at the replay.
And what happens is when you run the ball so successfully throughout the game, the play action pass is set up and it's waiting for you right there. Look at the safety coming up, expecting Elijah to block as he's done successfully throughout this game, but he runs right past the defender, shows off the speed, locates the ball, catches it from his brother, and he takes it on into the end zone.
And the safety had his eyes in the backfield because that's where you've been training them all game long, is to look in the backfield, look in the backfield, look in the backfield, and then all of a sudden when you pull that ball, it's just too little too late if you're that safety.
Yeah, take a look at those two guys right there. The older brother catches the pass from the younger brother, and you see the father smiling with a smile, what a proud father that is.
All right, on the other side of the ball, MILLWOOD. It's about to get the ball back, Dion. This is going to be the first time they've touched it in the second half, so we haven't seen any adjustments that they made on the offensive side of the ball, but they got to get this ship going. They got to go fast here, or this game could get out of hand.
Yeah, that ship looks like it's sinking right now. They really got to find some paddles and get that thing to going.
Yeah, as this ball is bobbled right around the 5-yard line, and then is going to be falling on right there. The return man, Desmond Green, falls on the ball right there at the 5-yard line. And, you know, we were comparing the Falcons to a ship right now. I would call them a Titanic, and they're sinking fast.
Five.
So the ball will get moved to the 20. I thought it was going to be on the 5, but it will get moved to the 20. His throw, left side, complete that time. On the catch was Journey Jensen. And the quarterback on that play is dropped right at the 10-yard line, and that's Michael Taff. And Taff threw a nice ball that time, one of the first completions that we've seen MILLWOOD throw today, but he took a shot at the end of it.
Yeah, it looks like Taff is holding his lower extremity. Looks like he looks to be in some serious pain down there.
The Falcons have worked in other quarterbacks today, but Taff is a key part to their offense and defense. Guys here at the 2A level will play both ways a lot of the time. 23-0 the score. Vian on the first drive of the second half punched it into the end zone. Second down and 7. 11:05 left to go, third quarter. MILLWOOD looking for any kind of offense on a second down and 7. Drop back, takes a step to the left, throws in the middle of the field, and it is intercepted by right to the 30, to the 20, right with space to the 10. He's gonna have to make a man miss. He does, reaches for the goal line. We're waiting for a signal. Did he get in?
We're still waiting.
It looks like he's gonna be spotted just short.
Yeah, it looks like he's on the 1-yard line there, but still a great return by Javian Wright.
Ball was just thrown up in the air. Wright comes underneath it like a center fielder and is able to take it back just short of that goal line. He reached for it right at the end. You can see the Vian faithful thought that he got it, but he comes up just short with opportunity, though, for Vian to extend the lead.
And it looks like they're bringing the ball back. There must have been a penalty on the play there that brought the ball all the way back to the 30-yard line. But just another turnover for MILLWOOD. They just haven't had success all night throwing the football. And this is the second interception of the night for Javian Wright.
Javian Wright needs to be sponsored by Tide right now. His entire jersey is just a different off-white brown. So he takes the snap, gives it to Cloud, running right side. Gray Cloud picks up about 5 yards. You said Javian Wright playing both ways. He's made an impact both ways on the offensive side, defensive side, and even on the special teams returning punts. 23-0 the score. Vian leading. Gray Cloud back in the backfield. He's off to the left of Wright. They fake it. Wright gonna throw again. Left side complete. That time it's complete to Brett McElhaney gets it completed right around the 20-yard line. Millwood defender is slow to get up, but great job by McElhaney just to settle down into an open spot and pick up positive yards. They're going to give McElhaney the first down, so Vian moves the ball inside the 20 now to the 19. They go into the red zone. Wright wipes his hands off of his towel. It's going to be a keeper right side. Wright sheds the tackler at the goal, or pardon me, at the line of scrimmage. Outruns a man to the goal line. Touchdown, Vian!
And just great blocking by the offensive line and the backs in front of him. They hit the quarterback power, and that was great balance by Javian Wright. You saw the lower hit towards the shin area. He takes the hit, bounces right up, and shows off the speed as he races off to the pylon.
Javian Wright was oh so close to getting a touchdown on the interception. He says, don't mind me. I'll just take this one myself from 20 yards out and finish the job. 29-0 now, Vian. And this one is on the edge of getting out of hand, Dion. As the extra point is up, and it is good, and it is a 30-point lead for the Wolverines.
You can see the speed. Check this out one more time. Great camera angle right here. You see the blockers pick up. Take out this hit right here. Stays upright, shows off the speed, and takes it onto the end zone for the Wolverines.
Harold Bagby had an opportunity to get Wright, but as you said, great balance from Wright at the line of scrimmage. Stays on his feet, and then you're not catching that man trying to run to the outside.
Just check out the blocking. Number 52 from Vian does a great job. Will Lyons, he gets a nice little chip shot on the outside there to keep number 20 off of him, then picks up a big block over there from at the safety spot, and Mr. Wright is off to the races.
Mr. Wright is Mr. Wright if you're a Vian Wolverine.
Mr. Wright now, as he takes the interception and then finishes it off by himself with the touchdown from the QB power.
Mr. Right now, I'll give that an 8. I'll be nice. That was a good one.
I feel you.
Ball on the 40. 9:31 left to go, and what we've seen from the Millwood offense so far today, Dion, that they just haven't gotten anything going, and this 30 seems insurmountable. We'll have to see if Millwood can get something going on the offensive side, as this kick is taken by Green at the 7. Green to the 30. Green to the 40. Green to the 50. Pushed out of bounds right around the 50-yard line. And we got multiple flags coming in late. We're going to have to see who the flags are. There's 2 flags coming in after the end of the play after Green was pushed out of bounds right around the 47-yard line. Green, when he got a full head of steam coming now, didn't want to get in the way of that man. He was quick down the sideline.
Yeah, and I'm trying to see it. It had to be, it looked like they threw the flag as soon as the defender pushed him out of bounds. So I'm guessing he pushed him while he was out of bounds. And that's going to be a personal foul.
Looks like they're going to spot the ball right now at the 45. That is before the penalty. We'll look at our head referee in the white hat today. That will be Ronald Snoddy. Snoddy comes over to the Vian sideline, is mouthing something to his line judge. It's going to be a personal foul against the Wolverines. And then another personal foul against Millwood. So personal foul on both teams, offset. The personal fouls offset. And so the ball will be spotted at the 45-yard line. Best field position the Falcons have had in a while, and they have to take advantage here, Dean.
Yeah, if they want to get back into this ball game, they're going to need to get some kind of points from this.
Thrown left side complete right at the first down marker. And it looks like Bagby stepped out of bounds right before that marker, but pass complete that time from Leon Mackey to Bagby. And looks like the Falcons, they picked up 9 yards there on first down, something positive for them on first down, something for them to build off of.
Yeah, and as we went outside during halftime, it looked like there was less precipitation in the air, and because of that, this Millwood's Falcon team is able to throw the ball a little bit now.
Ball's thrown over the middle, that time intended for Angelo Bryson, but in and out of the hands of Gunnar Griffith. Griffith had the ball right there, going to come out with a huge interception. Instead, it falls to the turf, and for Millwood, fortunate bounce.
Yeah, and that's fortunate for Mackey because he was throwing off his back foot. What pressure in his face. Didn't see the defenders there in coverage. Just all bad for the quarterback, and he's lucky enough to live to play another down here on third down.
Vian is bringing pressure after pressure, stunting, just all kinds of, just putting pressure in the quarterback's face. If you're the quarterback and if you're the Millwood offense, what do you have to do to counter that?
Yeah, honestly, you're going to have to keep some guys in, especially the back, to help the offensive line to pick up some of the blocking, to just give the quarterback enough time to throw the football. Again, and also these go routes, these vertical routes down the field, they're not going to be able to have chances to get those off.
Leon Mackey's quarterback, ball's bobbled, and he falls on it right around the 45-yard line. So what was 2nd down and 1 turns into 4th down and 9 now after 2 plays that have gone nowhere for the Falcons. And you're talking about this pressure. I was talking about the pressure that Vian was bringing. I really haven't seen Millwood utilize any halfback draws or screen passes either.
Yeah, they got it. You're right about that. They have to do something offensively to get this pressure on their back, on their heels, to give them some kind of hesitation on rushing up the field so aggressively.
We'll see what Vian dials up on the defensive side and what Millwood will counter with on 4th down and 9. Ball spotted 46-yard line, and Millwood is going to punt it away, and it is almost blocked. It's going to be fielded right around the 30-yard line. Right, makes a man miss, runs the left side to the 40, right to the 50, right, puts his head down, falls forward. Great tackle that time from Millwood, number 32, Tyler Taft. Taft comes out with a huge tackle on Wright, who was in the open field. Wright comes up a little slow, as we see here on the replay.
Yeah, good job by Wright fielding the ball, then getting outside to this wall, having a lot of blockers in front, but it's a good job by number 32 for Millwood, Tyler Taffy, getting behind and taking the proper pursuit angle and getting right down before he could pick up any more yards and give this offense great field position.
But Mr. Wright now has come up big once again for Vian, starts the drive in Falcon territory. This time it's going to be Lackley. Lackley draws all the way up past the 35-yard line. Lackey is a hard man to bring down. Zaven Lackey's just a sophomore, 6'2", 215 pounds, Dion.
That is a big, manly sophomore, and you can see how nimble he is with his feet. Just the way he gets through that hole, making it look easy.
30-0 the score. Vian with an opportunity to go up big, and we talked about the revenge factor because Vian pulled out a big win against Millwood. Last play of the game last year is the give is to Cloud. Cloud runs right, not doing a whole lot that time. We'll get back to the original line of scrimmage.
And that's a good job by number 70, Anthony Glilbreth, to get inside and get some penetration.
But this Vian team, Dion, they suffered one of the worst home losses in their recent memory to Millwood 2 years ago, 44-0. And so you think that's in the back of their head just a little bit here as they run a screen pass left side. Lackey complete at the 30. Lackey to the 20. Lackey has the blockers in front of him. Still on his feet. Lackey to the 10. Lackey gets into the end zone, and they're going to mark him out of bounds. There's no signal from the official right now. There's also a MILLWOOD man down on the field. There's flags down back here at the 40. It was a well-executed draw that time, though, from Vian, unless there's a penalty.
Yeah, a great job running the screen play. Look at this. Just lost the ball up to Lackey. Lackey with some hard running, some hard patient running, refusing to go down, staying on that sideline and getting into the end zone.
Arnold Snoddy, our head referee, let's take a look and see what he says. An illegal shift against Vian. Puts the ball back at the 38. Second down, we'll call it 14, 15. Two running backs in the backfield now flanking right either way. One's Lackey, one is Cloud. And we're going to have another flag now coming from the back judge. This time the penalty is going to go against MILLWOOD. MILLWOOD had too many men on the field as Asher Earl jogs off the sideline now. Second down and 8. Right keeps it, cuts left side, right, 20, 15, on his feet at the 10, right, reaches, just short. Right was tracked down from behind, but Javen Wright.
And check out this running right here, just doing a good job of just running through tacklers, doesn't see the player from behind as he comes in and tackles him.
It was a good job of pursuit that time by the MILLWOOD Falcons defense, but Wright, there's a reason why his jersey is a different color than what it started out. He has been carrying the ball, he's been all over the field, and he has just done a ton of work tonight for the Vian Wolverines. Vian, from the 1 yard line, give in the backfield is a Cloud, and Cloud is going to be brought down short.
Yeah, first one in there, number 20, Goodwin. Good job by Cloud being able to stay up and at least try and get back to the line of scrimmage.
You can see in the background of that shot, 5:49 and counting left to go in the third quarter. Vian's done a good job of keeping the ball on the ground, moving the ball, scoring, and running down the clock. They're hitting all of the checkpoints right now. Play clock rolling, 10 seconds and counting. 5:34 left to go in the game clock in the third quarter. Right in the gun. This ball is snapped and bobbled. Looks like Vian will take over now right around the 3 yard line. That was a strange set of circumstances there.
Yeah, that was unfortunate because almost a waste of down there.
Brings up third down and goal. The ball will be spotted all the way back at the 5 yard line. We'll see what head coach Gary Willis draws up here on third down and 5. Right, under center. Hands on the end around. Lackey, or pardon me, no, that's Wright. His brother, Elijah Wright, dove for the goal line. But there's another flag on the play.
Yeah, just a nice little end around from this wing back position. Looks like he had enough room there to get into the end zone, but there's a flag.
Holding on the Wolverines, moves them back. Wolverines got so close to punching it in on that Javen Wright long run, and instead they've kind of just gone backwards from there. They're right on the 1 yard line, close to it. Now they're going to move all the way back to the, we'll call that the 15. Vian's not really set up for 3rd down and long, but they've been able to execute a few of them today. Give, right side, Cloud is tripped up. It looked like Cloud just kind of tripped over his own feet there and falls short.
It looked like he tripped over the feet of somebody that was blocking for him, kind of riding his bumper, trying to find some daylight. Wasn't able to do so. Looked like number 2, Elijah Wright, was the one blocking for him, but looks like they're going to try and go for a kick here and take the 3 points.
Yeah, Mendoza comes on for Vian. They're looking to make it 33-0. Ball's on the ground, kick is up, and it is good. Splits the uprights. Tack on 3 to the Vian lead. Train horn sounds, and the Vian Wolverines are looking like an unstoppable train right now as they lead 33-0.
Yeah, you can see he's following his blockers and then just gets tripped up right there. But still get enough field to allow the kicker on and put through the 3 points for Vian and the Wolverines.
As I was talking about, it was a 44-0 loss. I don't know. It was earlier in the Vian drive. 2 years ago, Vian lost to MILLWOOD 44-0 right here at St. John Stadium. They came back last year and beat MILLWOOD on the last play of the game. Now Vian is looking to almost extract some revenge from that loss 2 years ago and put up a 44 spot themselves. They're 11 points away right now. They lead 33-0, and the Vian defense has just pushed all the right buttons so far today. Toe meets leather, the kick is away, and it's a good one. It'll be fielded right at the 3 yard line, taken left side. This time, Desmond Green will be run out of bounds, and there's some more late contact over right around the 25 yard line. No flags come in this time, though. There is a Vian Wolverine down. We'll take another look at the replay. Green running left side, and he just hasn't had a lot of daylight today.
Yeah, really trying to, hit that same sideline that he had the good return on the last kickoff. Just didn't seem to be anything over there. Looks like we have a player on the ground for Vian. Seems to be cramping up.
We'll take this time. Let you know that we hope you're enjoying tonight's broadcast. Help us in our mission to connect communities by liking and sharing tonight's game so all of your friends and neighbors can enjoy it as well. And also, if you enjoyed tonight's broadcast, then you will love more of Bravado TV's original programming. Tuesdays at 7, you can check out Jacob Toby and my man Dion Amade in End Zone as they break down everything happening in Oklahoma sports. How long does End Zone run?
30 minutes.
30 minutes. Y'all are still doing it because there's still Oklahoma sports going on, right?
All across the state.
High school football, Oklahoma State, some Sooners action going on in there as well.
Yeah, as reluctantly as I am to talk about the Sooners, Jacob continues to make me, so we continue to get some Sooner talk in there.
Former Oklahoma State safety Dion Amade, I'm Seth Campbell. No allegiance here in the state of Oklahoma for me, so we can talk Sooners, we can talk Cowboys. Right now we need to talk Wolverines. This pass sails over the head of the intended target, Desmond Green. And talking Wolverines, man, they have shown no signs of stopping here as they just continue the onslaught, 33-0. And they're pitching a shutout here. And besides one game where they allowed 25 points to Lincoln Christian, the starters for Vian have allowed 0 points this year, Dion. That's impressive.
It truly is, and it looks like they're continuing on that trend.
Looks like a draw that time. Successful for MILLWOOD. They pick up a few yards. The running back, is that Brown? I haven't called his name in a while, as Millwood is elected to go to the air the past few times. Third down, 7 to go. Brown to the left side. Now he moves over to the right of the quarterback, Leon Mackey. Offside eye to the right. Mackey gets the ball, hip height, under pressure, and he's going to be dropped. Huge sack that time for the Vian defense and Will Lyons. Mackey real slow to get up, and he had no time to react there as Lyons was in his grill as soon as he got the ball.
Yeah, you can see the pressure coming off the edge of this left side right here by Elijah. Look at Elijah Wright come off the edge untouched. He doesn't complete the sack. The Lion comes in from the middle and cleans it all up. It looks like they're going to help Mackey off the field there.
Mackey is still slow to get to the sideline. That's not what you want to see.
He definitely took a hard hit, and he's been under pressure all night.
Clock rolls, 2:45 and counting. This has been a familiar formation for the Falcons. All too familiar if you're a Falcons fan. They're going to punt. At least line up in punt formation. Play clock winding down. It's at 2. The snap is high and it kind of lofts back there. This time it's a better punt, but it still kicks out of bounds right around the 34-yard line. Dion, where I come from, in Arkansas, in Little Rock, there's a coach that has become famous kind of around the country. He's got really good teams. He's won multiple state championships, as you're going to see the drizzle start to pick up here once again at Vian, and he never punts. In high school, you know, his philosophy is the average high school punt, you know, max will average travel 30 yards, and that's if you have a good punter. Do you subscribe to that strategy?
Well, being on your own 10-yard line would allow the offense to, you know, get some great field position.
As Lackey's going to take it left, and he's just going to take it to the 10 himself. Lackey to the 10, past the 10, touchdown, Wolverines. I would have gone for it.
Yeah, that punt didn't do them any goodwill there as Lackey takes it to the end zone on the first offensive possession.
The punt did do something. It improved Lackey's stats. He just had to run an extra 20 yards for the touchdown there. And, man, the Wolverines are looking fierce tonight, up 39-0, still in the third quarter.
Yeah, and this is a really good, you know, running attack that Vian has. I mean, offensive line does a great job blocking, sticking on to their blocks. Even the running backs and the wide receivers doing a great job blocking downfield. And look at the edge that Lackey has right here. He almost goes in untouched. There's somebody who puts a hand on him right there. Cloud picks up a great block right there to escort him into the end zone. And although, other than a high five from number 7, Green over here on the outside, Lackey goes in untouched.
Vian puts up a 40 spot on the Falcons here in less than ideal conditions, and Vian is showing themselves to be fierce competitors and a team to be reckoned with in Class 2A. Elijah Mendoza, you see on your screen there. A talented kicker for Vian. He makes sure his team is set. And he puts toe to leather. Kicks this one all the way to the goal line. Been taking a knee there, and with 2:10 left in the third quarter, Vian has just done it all. Let's talk defensively right now, Dion. What have you seen from the Vian defense that has just stood out to you so far?
First of all, they're just being able to get pressure in that backfield. I mean, Millwood really wants to throw the football. And because of the outstanding play from the front 7, with the defensive line being able to get in the backfield, the linebackers rushing and blitzing, getting back in the backfield and creating havoc. They just haven't had any success.
They're going to hand it off to Brown, running right side. The ball's on the ground. Ball is on the ground and is going to be recovered by the quarterback. It looks like Michael Taff is back in at the quarterback spot.
Once again, Elijah Wright comes off the edge, puts a hand in there, and looks like he's able to jar that ball loose, but not able to hop on top of it.
The winner of the Vian and Millwood game, which looks to be the Wolverines right now, is going to play the winner of the Jones and Adair game. If it is Adair, it will be a rematch of last year's quarterfinal, which Adair won. And a fake this time will be kept by Taffy, and Taffy picks up positive yards to get all the way out to past the 25. They'll mark him at the 27. Taffy did a good job that time of shaking a tackler, staying on his feet, and picking up positive yards.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of congestion there in the backfield, some penetration, but nobody able to get a hand on the quarterback, Taffy. And because of that, he stays on his feet. He's able to get up the field and pick up some good yardage to make it a manageable third down, something I haven't been able to say for Millwood in there in the second half.
Manageable third down, clock winding down in the third quarter. Taff fakes it, keeps it himself, makes a man miss in the backfield, runs left side, but he is not going to pick up the first down. Picks up maybe a half a yard, and see what Millwood elects to do here on fourth down.
Yeah, it looks like he's able to get caught from behind by Elijah Wright.
Taff runs the delay, and if you have delayed upgrading your tired old phone or you're looking for an unlimited stocking stuffer, take advantage of holiday savings today. Right now, you can get an iPhone XR for only $99 with our friends at Bravado Wireless. Visit a local Bravado Wireless store and get all of the details there. Serving you locally in eastern Oklahoma. Millwood forces Vian to jump off sides, and this time, I believe that was Lyons. Will Lyons gets his name called in a negative fashion this time as he jumps off sides with 1.4 seconds left to go in the third quarter.
And allows Millwood to pick up the easy first down, but also it's the end of the third quarter.
Now Millwood picks up the first down, but into the third quarter as we go to the fourth, this entire game has belonged to the Vian Wolverines. They lead 40-0 over Millwood here in Vian, Oklahoma on the Bravado Wireless Game of the Week. Welcome back to the Bravado Wireless Game of the Week. 12 minutes to go. And 12 minutes stand between the Vian Wolverines and a shot once again in the quarterfinals for the second consecutive year. Taff, pardon me, runs right side, looking to throw. The ball's on the ground. It's going to be picked up by Elijah Wright. Elijah Wright in the end zone. Wright with the right move. Makes this game 46-0. It's a rout now.
Yeah, and just Elijah Wright being at the right spot at the right time is able to pick up the fumble and take it into the end zone.
46-0. This has been the defense is what has been what these two teams have hung their hat on, and you know Vian made a change that you talked about a little bit, Dion. Early in the game, to move away from the diamond formation, and how has that helped them put up 46 points so far?
Well, first of all, it's allowed them to get their extra blockers up on the edge to grab a little bit of,
as the extra point is up and it is good,
grab a little bit of the edge away from those speedy defenders for Millwood. But here you see the replay on defense. They've just been rushing and blitzing and endlessly coming after the quarterback all game long. There you again, once again, and another time again, number 19, Gunnar Griffith, comes off the edge and is able to get back there, strip the ball away from the quarterback. Wright's able to pick it up and take it to the end zone for another Wolverine touchdown.
Vian still trying to hold on to the shutout. As you see the Millwood band, the Millwood faithful, watching their Falcons play for what will more than likely be the last time. Kick is away, and it's a good one. It'll be fielded at the 5-yard line as it's bobbled now at the 5 by Green. Green with plenty of space. Pardon me, that's Journey Jensen. Jensen with plenty of space running left side. He gets a full head of speed before he's knocked out of bounds right around the 25-yard line. Jensen did a good job that time of just picking up and really utilizing the fielding when taking what the defense gave him.
Yeah, take a look at this. Patient, trying to find some blocking and then using the speed to get to the outside. Good job by number 40 for Vian. They're able to get there and make the tackle, also stripping the ball away, stripping the ball away out of bounds.
A score of interest for Vian fans. Adair is beating Jones 32-21. The game, see who plays the winner of this game. Snap low. Give right side. Not much doing that time for Bailey Brown. Brown does pick up positive yards, picks up about 3. In the quarterback position, Michael Taff for Millwood. Taff runs Brown now to his left side. Taff is running left the entire way. Gets past the line of scrimmage. Taff to the 30, to the 35, to the 40. Taff carrying defenders past midfield. Ball's on the ground, though. It comes out. Vian recovers, but they are going to say that Taff was down. I believe that's the right call there, Dion. It looked like Taft's knee hit before the ball came out.
Yeah, I believe it was as well. We can check it out on replay to get a better look, but it was a good job. Looks like it was Luis Hernandez, number 11, who comes out and strips the ball out.
Not a very clear look there, but it did look like.
Yeah, there were just too many defenders on the quarterback, number 9, Taffy, to be able to make the call.
Taff in the gun, offset eye to his right. This time the running back is Jaden Lee. Looks like Lee picks up 10 yards and the ball comes out. Wolverines have it, but did the ball come out after Lee was down? Pardon me, that's Ricky Hunt Jr.
It looks like there's a lot of second team players out here for this Vian defense, and it looks like they are very hungry for a turnover as they're getting some experience and some playing time here in the playoffs, and they're going after this ball heavily.
Yeah, they rule that Hunt was down. 2nd down and 2. Give right side Hunt. Just runs right into the line of scrimmage, right into the teeth of that Vian defense.
Again, still ripping at the football, almost as if they're down in the 4th quarter and they need their offense to get another opportunity to go in to score.
Oh, but that's Wright's defense right there, coached by the defensive coordinator, Wright. I mean, they're going to be ferocious. They're going to be fierce. And he said they're not going to stay back on their heels.
Nah, they're looking for tackle for losses and turnovers and trying to get off the field.
9 minutes and counting. Fourth quarter, all Wolverines. They lead 47-0. Millwood has trouble with the ball. Taft makes something happen, though, as he takes the ball and keeps it himself as it's brought down at about the 24-yard line. Good job by Taft of making something out of nothing.
Yeah, it really was. Being composed, being able to pick up the ball off the turf. Gets tackled a little awkwardly there, but able to get upfield and get a first down for this offense.
Vian leading 47-0. Give left side. That's Brown. It's pushed out of bounds. So what have you seen from Vian? Are these guys that can compete for the entire thing, Dion, as they move into the quarterfinals next week?
Oh, without a doubt, especially with this defense. You know what they say, defense wins championships. And I'm always down for a team that's only allowed 24 points throughout the season. That's who I'd, get behind and put my 2 cents behind.
Yeah, the problem is they got a Lincoln Christian team. Pardon me, no, the Lincoln Christian's 3A. As it gives right side. Nothing doing for the running back that time. And to hold a Lincoln Christian team to 25 points, the more you think about it, we saw Lincoln Christian earlier in the year, Dion, a team from Tulsa. And, man, Lincoln Christian is a dynamic offense. They have multiple checks at the line of scrimmage, and a team that is going to compete for the 3A title, it looks like. They're one of the teams in that discussion. To hold them to 25 points, it really does show you how multiple this defense can be.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the size of the players, and not on the field. I'm talking about the first team unit, the one that's been dominating this game thus far. I mean, this is a decent sized group, and they have a little bit of advantage over these 2A kids. Being who they are and built the way they are.
Taft keeps it himself, runs right side, makes a man miss line of scrimmage. He's falling forward, but he's going to be brought down right around the 5-yard line. As he said, if the score holds in the Adair-Jones game, it would be a rematch between Vian and Adair. It'd be a rematch of last year's quarterfinal that Adair won. This third consecutive matchup with Vian, this rubber match, so to speak, between the Vian Wolverines and the Millwood Falcons. As Brown is dropped that time by Dylan Murchison. Dylan Murchison gets in the backfield and drops Brown, but looks like this rubber match is going to go to the Wolverines as they show up and show out.
Yeah, it looked like Brown never got a clean handoff there and was never able to get the football before that Vian defense was able to get back in the backfield and create another tackle for loss, making it 3rd down.
3rd down, clock rolls under 6 minutes to go. Play clock at 5, snaps to Taft. Taft running right, trying to shake a defender, but he's going to be, I think he's going to be brought down. He stays on his feet, but they blow it dead. The first man to get there for Vian is Lakin Van, the sophomore, 5'9", 190-pound defensive lineman. Stops Taft in his tracks. Can't bring him down, but they blow the whistle. A great job of just never stopping for Van.
Yeah, and he just does a good job of getting in the backfield initially and, not giving number 9, Taffy, the time in the pocket to look down the field and get the ball out of his hands.
Taff throwing, end zone, complete, touchdown, Falcons. The Falcons get on the board that time. Harold Bagby, the senior, in his last game for the Falcons, will come down with a huge interception that puts the Falcons on the board and gives the senior something to remember this game by, as a guy that started the game at quarterback and will finish at the wide receiver position. Maybe just a little bit better taste in his mouth, but not much.
Yeah, and you can see the disappointment on Kenyatta Wright's face, the defensive coordinator. He kind of tossed his headphones up in the air and caught him in frustration that he let that goose egg come off the board. As a defensive player, I know how important those things are and what it means to your defense, and for them to let up a touchdown here in the fourth quarter, you can see why they'd be a little disappointed.
Hard count from Taff. Now everybody is set. This is going to be a 2-point conversion for the Falcons. Taff running right behind his blockers, and he will go untouched into the end zone. So that's 2 more points for the Falcons, but it is too little, too late. Take another look at the replay. Taft just throws this one up and lets Bagby come down with it. And you can definitely tell the disappointment from Bagby. He didn't celebrate, just grabbed the ball, said, I mean, that's great that we scored a touchdown, and just hands it back to the referee. 47-8 on the Bravado Wireless game of the week. And this year, if this New Year's resolution is to upgrade your selfie game, the easiest way to do that is with the new iPhone from Bravado Wireless. Check out our fantastic deals available right now on both the iPhone 11 and the iPhone XR. You can get those at your local Bravado Wireless dealer. Dion, I'm going to put you on the spot right here. You've done a complete season now of Oklahoma high school football, going all around Eastern Oklahoma, watching teams from various classifications, all the way from 5A all the way to 1A, when we started over all the way at Gore. Some of the best players you've seen, just give me a few off the top of your head that you've seen athletes out there on the field this year.
Well, I mean, I don't want to, say there's some recency bias, but I mean, I got to give it up to Solomon Wright over here on the Vian team. Number 7 is pretty impressive, and the things that he's able to do on the defensive line for those guys. Also, you can't forget the quarterback for Lincoln Christian. He was a very, very headsy player.
The ability to change the call at the line of scrimmage was something that you don't see in high school ball.
Yeah, a quarterback that's the coach's son, I mean, always has a little bit of advantage there when you can take the playbook home with you, and grow up in that locker room. It's always an advantage. But there's just been a number of kids that I've been impressed with. Last week, Jacob Barrett, we've got to see him a couple of times this year. He's been pretty impressive in both games that we've watched him. As also his teammate, Fisher, number 6, the running back, was very good. You can't forget the quarterback from Eufaula. I want to say his name was Nick Jones.
And then another guy, I don't need to gloss over Nick Jones there, but Tevin Woodworth.
Yeah.
Is another guy.
It's just been a great season of Oklahoma football, and I don't want to leave anybody out, but
pardon me, it was Tavian Woodworth. Tavian Woodworth from Fort Gibson, class of 2020. He's now getting some offers after a fantastic game that he had that we saw. So just some great athletes all around the state of Oklahoma, as the give is left side, and not much doing there for the running back. Trying to see who was on the carry that time. Zane Craighead, the sophomore running back. Trying to get these guys' names in. They get to play in the playoff game. Zane Craighead, the running back, gets a rep here at St. John's Stadium.
Yeah, you can tell this Vian offense trying to take this clock all the way down.
And the atmosphere at Lincoln Christian was kind of crazy too. Just a huge stadium.
Oh man, it was, and you could, great food. You could smell it from the press box.
They had a band playing throughout the entire game. It was definitely a must-see from those guys. And we're going to take a break right here as Vian leads 47-8 over Millwood in the second round of the 2A playoffs here on the Bravado Wireless Game of the Week. Welcome back to the Bravado Wireless Game of the Week. Vian leading 47-8 over the Millwood Falcons. We'll take you to the Adair at Jones game. Adair winning now 32-7. 1 minute left to go in the fourth quarter. It's only a 5-point spread there, Dion. And the winner of that game will get the winner of this game, which is going to be Vian as the clock is winding down as it's 3:09 left to go. Third down upcoming for the Wolverines. Other scores around 2A. Washington leading 17-14 over Holland Hall. Washington came from the same conference as Millwood. Sperry leading 38-0 over Luther. Beggs leading Chisholm 27-8, a team that we saw earlier this year. Metro Christian winning 42-14 over Meeker. That was a good football team as well. And Eufaula is losing to Lindsay 15-14 in the fourth quarter. Some scores around 2A. Let's take you all the way up to the highest classification here in Oklahoma high school football. Jinx is destroying Moore 48-13. And there is no game reporting right now from Broken Arrow and Owasso. Let's go to 6A2. Take you through the Bravado Wireless scoreboard. Bixby leading Del City 47-13, and Stillwater leading Choctaw 62-12. I think that is what we all assumed was going to happen, was when this playoff started, that Bixby and Stillwater were going to meet each other in the finals.
Yeah, I mean, all rows for those two teams in 6A Division II were leading to each other. Another rematch of last year's state championship game was going to be coming ahead as Gunnar Gundy leads the Stillwater Pioneers and you know, Brennan Presley leading the Bixby Spartans. And I'm guessing those two will meet once again.
Yeah, both of those games in the fourth quarter, both of those games well in hand. Just like this one here in Vian, as the Wolverines are going to punt this one away. And it's a good punt, lands at the 45, kicks to the other 45. It's going to be fielded that time by Asher Earl. Earl knocked out of bounds at the 35 of the Wolverines. Good field position for the Millwood Falcons and an opportunity for them to maybe get some momentum and let some of the younger guys play and see what they can do here in their last game of the season.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if this second team defense can hold off this Millwood team from getting in the end zone with 2 minutes and 21 seconds left to go in the game.
As we go to Class 5A, Bishop Kelly is beating Noble 21-7. Edison Pratt beating Bishop McGinnis 35-28. Team we saw earlier this year, McAllister, loses 38-7 to Carl Albert. And Coweta is losing 21-55 to Piedmont. Nothing too surprising there as we move on to Class 4A. As Taft going to throw this one deep, heaves it, and it is knocked down basically. Good job from the wide receiver to play defense there. It looked like that was Harold Bagby.
And it was good to see the referees let those guys play Both of those guys trying to compete for the ball. Didn't see anything too egregious, and referee didn't have to pull that flag out of his pocket once again this evening.
And Poto beating Cash 40-7. Weatherford beating Salisaw 40-19. Broken Bow losing to Tuttle 14-7. 47-8 here. And Wagner is beating Bethany 7-6. And that's your Class 4A update. As this one's going to be kept by Taff, who makes runs over a guy in the middle of the field. Bryson Pack tried to bring Taff down, but nothing doing there. As Taff will pick up the first down as the play is blown dead after Taff does pick up that first down. 2 minutes and 7 seconds left to go in this game. Plainview beating Shakota 58-27. Lincoln Christian winning 55-14. Heritage Hall winning 34-9. Give right side, nothing doing, and those two teams are on a collision course for each other right there. Heritage Hall and Lincoln Christian, both of those teams winning today. They will play each other next week in a game that is going to be in the semifinals, but really could be the finals of 3A.
Yeah, I mean, was able to see Heritage Hall earlier this year against this Millwood team, and Heritage Hall winning that game, first game of the season, handedly. So both of those private school teams good in their own right.
As the pass from Taff is in and out of the hands of Bagby, falls incomplete.
It's going to be interesting to see because defensively, Heritage Hall was a very impressive bunch, but offensively, that Lincoln Christian team is strong.
That's your Bravado Wireless score update. Gotten to know a lot of teams and see a lot of teams around the eastern part of Oklahoma this year, Dion, and some pretty cool moments. You know, we tried twice to see the Seminole head coach win his record-breaking victory, but instead couldn't, as this one is thrown up in the air. It's going to be caught at the 5-yard line and brought into the end zone. That time, Journey Jensen just catches up a heave pass, basically, from Taff. But it is going to be a touchdown for the Falcons. But after this extra point or 2-point conversion, whatever the Falcons want to do, as soon as the Vian gets the ball, they can kneel this one out and call it a game.
Yeah, right there. The cornerback just falls down in the route. That's a good job from the wide receiver, number 5. Brisso, excuse me, able to come back to the football and get into the end zone.
Taft back at quarterback. He's going to keep it himself, run right side, puts his foot in the ground, gets north and south, and we'll get into the end zone. 2 late touchdowns for Millwood. We'll make this game look a little bit closer in the scoreboard and in the paper in the morning, but this one was well over as we head into the 4th quarter. The Wolverines leading now 47-16.
And if I was this Vian coaching staff, I would instruct all these players. I mean, they're about to get a kick right now. Take a knee. As soon as you grab the ball, take a knee. We don't want any extracurriculars happening, and we don't want anybody, getting hurt. We still got another week to play, so just get the ball, take a knee, and then let us get into victory formation so we can get out of here.
.101 left to go, 4th quarter. No one kicked this away. Vian, I think that stat will still stand. Vian had their second team guys on there. They've only given up 25 points to their first team. It's going to be an onside kick, and it is going to be fallen on by Vian. It was a close to hitting the hands of a Vian return man and let Millwood fall on it. But Vian will pick up the onside kick, and they will pick up the victory. 47-16, your final score here from St. John's, St. John's, pardon me. I'm losing my mind up here. I guess I shouldn't say it's your final score yet. We should make sure that the Vian Wolverines are actually going to kneel this one out.
It looks like they are getting in victory formation.
Quarterback Diego Ramos under center, takes a few steps back. Will take a knee. Do that one more time once this clock gets under 40, and that'll be all she wrote here from Vian.
And covering games like this during the playoffs, it's always bittersweet because, I mean, if you're on the winning side, you get to celebrate and move on and go to the next step in the playoffs and being even that much closer to accomplishing your goals. But on the losing side, I mean, you have to remember it's the last time these kids will play this year, and for some of them being seniors without the chance to not make it to the next level and playing collegiately, it could be the last time that they strap on those pads and play the game that they love.
Last time that they get to step on a gridiron and play some football. Definitely bittersweet for those guys on the Millwood sideline, but for Vian, they get to continue their season for at least one more week, as they're going to play the winner of Jones and Adair, which Adair was winning by 5 points last time we checked with a minute left to go in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's gonna be another week of preparation for this Vian Wolverine team, and I mean, just looking at them defensively, I don't want to say they don't need no more practice, but Seth, they don't need no more practice.
They definitely don't need any more practice, as they ran their offense and defense really spectacular tonight all the way around. Seth Campbell joined alongside Dion Amade, as you can see, and welcome you up to a very crowded booth right now here in Vian, Oklahoma. The Wolverines come away with a huge victory, and Dion, we'll start on the defensive side. Their starters pitched a shutout once again. They ended up allowing 16 points, but that was from the second team when this game was well in hand.
Yeah.
What did you see from the defense?
I mean, obviously a very talented bunch. And it was a defense that just individually, they won their matchups. The front seven was dominating throughout the game. And you can check out the replays. I mean, continuously putting pressure on the quarterback and making things happen as far as keeping him unbalanced and uneasy in the backfield. And then the running backs, there was just nowhere to go with the football. Offensively, as you check out these highlights, they had a ball running the football between the tackles. I mean, in a condition like they were today, and the field that they were playing on, with the weather the way it is, they did a good job of rushing up the middle between the tackles, north and south. And that's something that you have to do in these muddy, sloppy games. And that's what they did. They had a number of guys, Elijah Wright.
As you can see there on your screen.
Javian Wright, that's the quarterback number one that was making great plays, getting between the tackles. You saw him, score right here. Great balance as he takes a hit and continues to trot into the end zone. Number 24 was a monster between the tackles, also for Vian. Lackey, he was a big, strong, physical runner, able to get to the outside and get some speed. Take a look at the nifty running. He was a tough customer all night for the Vian Wolverines. And not only that, but number 2 as well, Elijah Wright, who I've talked about, and number 23 for the Vian Wolverines, Cloud. He was a very tough guy with the football in his hands as well.
Yeah, multiple guys, and you can see why Vian would want to start this game and really utilize the diamond formation that they have used throughout really the entire year, because they have all those talented backs. They want to get those guys the ball, but they made an adjustment after the first or second drive, after Millwood was, using their athletes to kind of keep Vian contained, they adjusted and they were able to execute up the middle after they made that adjustment.
Yeah, I mean, they switched out of that diamond formation and kind of put those backs up into the offensive line and kind of created a wing back, H-back formation there to allow the blockers to get to the edge faster than the defenders could, so they could seal off that edge and get to the outside. And because of that adjustment, they benefited a lot from hitting those outside runs. And with that being said, the linebackers had to, get out there a little bit more, and that allowed them to have some room in between the tackles to gain yards there.
As we take you to the scoreboard, brought to you by Bravado Wireless, Adair does beat Jones. 32-7, your final score. Adair beats Jones, so that means Vian will take on Adair next week as they move into the quarterfinals here in the Class 2A playoffs. We're taking a look right now here on your screen, and one of the few highlights for Millwood, and that's Bagby there coming down with the reception, Dion. And let's just talk a little bit about the Millwood Falcons. I mean, this game obviously didn't go the way that they wanted, but, they showed some resilience there at the end by not quite giving up and putting a few scores on the
Well,
on the
talk
board.
about resiliency. I mean, they played 3 quarterbacks in this game. I mean, as physical as it was, as much pressure as Vian was getting with their defensive line and that front 7, they had to play 3 different quarterbacks, and each one came in ready to, take on that pressure, take on that workload, and put their team and hopefully put their team in a situation to be successful. Although that wasn't the case, although they struggled offensively, still being able to trot out 3 quarterbacks out there and still, be able to, progress offensively says a lot about this team. Defensively, they came up against a very tough matchup here tonight. Just a team that was a little bit bigger and a little bit stronger than they were, and because of the fact they took the L tonight, but still a strong bunch who had a great season and a very athletic, fast bunch that they just met their match here tonight.
Yeah, the third time that these two teams have met in the past 3 years in the rubber match, as we called it. Well, it'll go to Vian in striking fashion. And for Dion Amade, I'm Seth Campbell. I want to thank all of y'all for joining us this entire year. It has been a fantastic year broadcasting high school football all around Eastern Oklahoma. Big shout out to our crew that is giving you these games in the rain, in the cold, when it was hot, which is hard to believe right now, but it was hot when we started this season. When our crew going through all of the elements to give you these games. Big shout out to them. They don't get enough credit, so a big shout out to them for bearing through all of the elements and giving you a fantastic broadcast, a broadcast we can be proud of. And Dion, it was a pleasure to have you up here in the booth. Your insight, very welcome.
Thank you so much, man. It was a pleasure calling the games next to you, my man.
Well, for the last time here on this season, I'm Seth Campbell, alongside former Oklahoma State safety Dion Amade, saying so long and thank you for joining us here on the Bravado Wireless Game of the Week.
Big wireless companies keep getting bigger and bigger, but their coverage where you live is still small. At Bravado Wireless, we provide the best unlimited talk, text, and data for only $40 a month, right here in Eastern Oklahoma. You deserve to connect fast to your family, friends, and colleagues, wherever they are, with no interruptions and no excuses. Don't buy into big. Go bold. Go Bravado. Visit bravadowireless.com or visit one of our stores, where we make it easy to join our family. Bravado Wireless. We believe in the power of connection.
This broadcast is a copyright of Bravado Wireless. This game and broadcast should not be reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed without the express written consent of Bravado Wireless and its management.